EPRI, the Electric Power Research Institute, held an update hosted by Resources for the Future of an analysis that it's been working on, laying out what it says is the U.S. electricity sector's potential for reducing CO2 emissions and an economically optimum technology portfolio. Here to break that down for us is Revis James of EPRI. Revis, welcome back.
Thanks.
It's good to see you. So this is sort of meant to be somewhat of a roadmap for the electricity sector for the future?
Well, I would say it's a way of portraying technology options for the electricity sector. Different pathways forward using different technology strategies.
Okay. Now, the last time you did an analysis was 2007. Tell me what has changed since then. How have the parameters changed? There are more stricter cuts in emissions used this time?
Well, that's the major change, that we're looking at constraints that are more comparable to what the Waxman-Markey bill is looking at, and that's very different than 2 years ago.
Right.
But the other feature is considering many things that we've learned about new technology. For example, we have considered the possibility of retrofitting existing coal plants with CO2 capture and storage, looking at the grid integration costs and transmission and storage costs associated with very large-scale deployments of renewables. So we've added some technology features to the analysis that have refined the results.
That has changed a lot in the past couple of years, I guess.
Yes,
we're coming
definitely
closer to carbon capture and storage, so you made that one of your assumptions?
Well, we had CO2 capture and storage for new coal plants coming on after the year 2020, but prior to now, we had never considered the possibility that retrofit might be feasible. We've learned some things about that, plus the costs of reducing CO2 emissions are sufficiently high in our estimation that it may be economically desirable to consider CO2 retrofit. So we modeled it.
Okay. So you came up with a couple of different portfolios, a full portfolio and a limited portfolio. Tell us about why you have the two different ones, what they mean.
We wanted to display a contrast between very different technology futures. So we deliberately chose what we call bookend type scenarios. So a limited portfolio is a world in which we don't expand the nuclear power fleet for either economic or policy reasons. We don't ever develop CO2 capture and storage to an economically acceptable level. So that's a world where you have to depend on renewables, efficiency, and natural gas exclusively for your future generation mix under CO2 constraints. And then in the full portfolio, we consider successful R&D that provides all those technology options. Nuclear can expand, CO2 capture and storage is developed and can be used. We improve efficiency at a faster rate, and we contrasted the two.
And you found one to be substantially more costly than the other?
The limited portfolio, much more expensive, about, I'd say, 60% more expensive than the full portfolio. Electricity costs
that's the one that
higher.
assumes no CCS or plug-in electric vehicles?
Correct. It's a more limited, less diverse technology portfolio.
Okay. So who was your audience there? I mean, where does this information go next?
Well, two basic audiences. One, of course, is the electricity sector itself, the stakeholders, the utility companies and suppliers. We have always our function is to do collaborative research for that sector, so we share the results with those stakeholders, and of course that influences their consideration of technology investments they might be making. But the other part of the community are the policymakers and the media, allowing people to see what the consequences would be of different types of technology strategies.
Has the efficiency part of this equation changed a bit over the past couple of years?
I'd say we have more precision in the results.
It was pretty evident in 07, I guess. But.
Yes, it was. But what we know now, we've done studies since 07 looking at exactly what is the potential for avoiding electricity consumption through efficiency, and we incorporated that into our study.
And so what happens now if we do have climate legislation passed? You'll embark on a much more specific scenario, I guess?
Well, I would say if we do have climate legislation that is fairly clear, we probably will start to focus on the exact technology scenario that's most cost-effective to respond to that constraint. Obviously, it's not clear exactly how fast we'll have, so we're still looking at scenarios for now, trying to be ready for different eventualities.
Right. Okay. Well, good luck with your work. Revis James from EPRI, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.